Josh Bendoski here with Rev Media, and I am here with Jeanie Cisco-Meth, one of my favorite speakers and authors on bully-proofing you. She's a dynamic speaker on stage, one of my favorite ones to watch, and the book that she has written is absolutely phenomenal about bullying and how to overcome that situation. All of us have been a victim of bullying and have experienced the damage that can do to your self-confidence, and we've seen kind of the wave of this through the schools and the potentially traumatic things that have happened and could happen if we don't really bring this to the forefront. And so Jeanie has developed a phenomenal book and a training module to really help overcome that, and today we're going to speak with her about her book and what it's all about.
Josh, thank you so much for having me here today. I am so excited. This is an incredible mission, and I appreciate you helping me get the word out to people. Thank you.
So the first question I have for you and for the viewers here so they can get an idea on your background is, what is your expertise and your background in bullying, and kind of what got you started down this direction?
Thank you for asking that. The articulate, successful businesswoman you see in front of you was not always so. When I was in elementary school, I was told I would never make it through school. I had too many learning disabilities. One was I had dyslexia. Have you ever heard of that before?
I actually have, yes.
Yeah, it's when the letters get all jumbled up, or they get back and forth. Well, I also had auditory dyslexia, which means words get jumbled as well. So not only could I not read, I couldn't hear, and then because of that, I couldn't speak very well. So I had a speech impediment. I was also legally blind, which means I couldn't see things. So it was difficult for me to interact with people. Imagine you're on the playground, right? And your best friend is a few feet away from you. Hey, let's play, but you don't even know who it is. You get to feeling a little bit alone, and people start leaving you alone because you don't interact with them. That was my childhood. And tons of therapy, speech therapy, visual therapy, always being pulled out of class, and it makes you a target. So I was bullied a lot, not only by my students, but some of the parents and my teachers. I wouldn't call it bullying so much from a teacher, I would call it stereotyping, pigeonholing, putting, she'll never make it. And in fact, we were told that. I remember sitting in a 5th grade class, listening to a teacher say, Jeannie's never gonna make it. She has too many learning disabilities. But as I look back on it now, that was the perfect thing for her to say, because it pissed me off. And so I made the decision right then and there, I am gonna make it. And so I worked really hard, and then I got into high school and I met Coach Pat Emerson. I was 6 foot tall by the 8th grade, and my high school was really small. And so all of a sudden, here comes this 6 foot tall person walking down the hall, and my basketball coach was so excited. Well, he didn't know that I had never played before. And so it took me about a year or two before I figured out, but his belief in me helped me believe in me. And so that's what started the process of believing in me and changing and becoming something else. And he's the reason I became a high school teacher. So I was a high school teacher for 17 years. So not only did I make it to high school, but I made it to college too. And I thought in college, if I could help other kids learn some of the skills that I learned, what a great benefit that would be to give back. Then I taught at an alternative school, and we would always lose students. Typically, it was to drug overdose or gang violence, but once in a while we would have a child commit suicide. And I decided, no more, not on my watch, not when I have a program that can save lives. I've been the teacher in the classroom the next day with the empty desk, and you're trying to explain it and make sure that everybody else is safe. And so Now I am a professor at Utah Valley University, teaching teachers how to bully-proof their classroom, along with giving workshops and things like that. I'm also a paid contributing author to The Blaze. Never had a journalism class in my life, and they're paying me to write stuff. I also have my book. And so you go back to, you'll never make it even through high school, all the way up to now I'm a professor and an author and a speaker, and so you can do it if you have the dream.
Yeah, well, sounds like you have overcome a lot and have really firsthand experience of what it's like to not only be bullied, but to overcome that situation, and a lot of expertise on that, and spent a lot of time with many students over the years of her career. Okay, the second question that I have for you, Jeanie, and for the folks out there, is what got you started down this path? What got you interested in actually making an impact on the national scale and maybe even a global scale?
I remember being the teacher the next day in the classroom with the empty desk. And a teacher came up to me and said, Jeanie, maybe if you had written a book, you could have reached him. Maybe if you had talked to more people. Maybe if you could reach more people. And that was really the first thought that I had, maybe I do have something here that needs to be seen by more people. And it was very difficult for me because all of those voices, right? Sometimes we got to tame the bully between our ears first before we can tame other bullies. It's difficult when you don't believe in yourself. And so my program is not based on telling people they can or can't say. Zero tolerance does not work. My program is based on belief and empowerment coming from the inside out, so it doesn't matter what someone else says. Our society can no longer pay the price with the lives of our children for bullying, the lives of our mothers and fathers. You know, it's just way too high of a price. And so my motto is, if I can save even one life, it's worth it. It's worth the fear, it's worth the difficulty, to make sure that that bullying is no longer responsible for a life being lost. We can't afford that anymore.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And I actually have 4 children myself, and I'm so thrilled that you have taken your expertise and your experience in life to kind of help all of us with one of these major challenges that faces the nation and even globally, and just really taking it upon yourself to make an impact and a difference for all of us here. Okay, so the last question I have for you is, how do we incorporate this into our communities and our homes? How do we take this information and really implement it and make a difference in our own lives?
Well, I don't have enough time to go into everything right now. I've already talked a lot, but I get paid to speak, right? But I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 good tips that you can immediately implement. If you want more information than that, please purchase my book, send me an email, give me a phone call, whatever. Let's talk, at least at a bare minimum. But the first tip is, first of all, belief in self. When you decide you're valuable, it doesn't matter what someone else says. So when I was doing my research with my students, why do some people, statistics say 1 in 4 is bullied, right? My belief is 4 in 4 are bullied. So that means 3 in 4 are bullied but are not affected by it. But 1 in 4 is devastated. So I did a lot of research on the 3 and 4. What made them different? And the bottom underlying factor was always personal value. So if I believe in myself, if I know I'm valuable, if I know I'm loved, then somebody telling me I'm not, they're the idiot, not me. They're the person that's wrong, not me. So that's the first step, belief in self. The second step is take action. Get better, learn, grow, look at other people and say, oh, I like them. So I was a PE teacher for a lot of years and a basketball coach. I did not look like this. So I had to learn how to transition from the classroom to the stage. I had to learn to put on makeup. I had to learn how to dress. And so I went into Macy's and I said, I need help. And she said, yeah, you do. Go walk around the store, look at the mannequins, tell me what you like, and we'll put your style together. So it's about you. Be you, because you can always be you. It's easy. Be you. We need you, not a copy of someone else. And the third one, and this is specifically for parents or teachers, if you have a child or student who is being bullied, and they come in, they say, Mom, so-and-so called me, whatever they call you. I know your instinct is to say, no, honey, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, but that just gives more weight to what the bully said. So what you're going to say is, aren't you glad I don't believe that? Aren't you glad I don't believe that? Are the most powerful words you will ever say to your child. Because it lets them know that, wait a minute, you mean I have a choice? I can choose whether to believe this or not? Aren't you glad I don't believe that? Allows the child to now decide whether they want to listen to someone they don't even know, or they want to listen to mom or dad or their teacher who they know, they respect. Those are 3 steps you can implement right now. I know you want more, so make sure you get my book, make sure you get in touch with me.
Okay, well, those are some fantastic tips to go ahead and get you started on bully-proofing yourself, and also implementing that and helping your students and children. And go ahead and pick up the book today, Bully-Proofing You. It's a phenomenal book. It is all of this information elaborated and a lot of detailed material on exercises and other things to bully-proof you and people in your life. If you have any questions, go ahead and get a hold of Jeanie to book her for an event or anything like that. And just a really phenomenal speaker, and really appreciate having you on the show today.
Thank you so much.